Hey, folks, thanks for tuning into Discovering Unique Hobbies, the podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Cody.
And tonight we're thrilled to have Zach Robinson of Blue Ridge Weather joining us. So get ready to dive into the fascinating world of weather tracking and to learn what it takes to really run a successful Facebook page dedicated to weather. Fun fact, Cody, he started that page because of me. It was my idea, and he has thousands of followers now. So
that is a fun fact.
Yeah, it's going to be an enlightening conversation you're not going to want to miss. I hope. So let's have a great episode. So Cody, since it's been a couple of weeks since we, been on the pod, as usual, what's been going on, and let's talk about the Disney or Disneyland trip.
Disneyland, and yes, we the family and I went last week, and we just got back late last night from.
Nice.
Yeah, it was one of those days where you come back from the West Coast. It's the entire day's travel, but it was a good trip. A little chilly, but it's just there's nothing bad. There's not a bad ride at Disneyland, at least in my opinion. Even the cheesy ones. If that makes any sense? And then Universal was cool. I've always wanted to go to Hollywood itself, so we did that the day before. But pretty good trip. Other than that, just same old. So, how about you, Zach? What's new? Probably should have. I saw you eating. Probably should have paid attention to that.
Sorry, I love these Pop-Tarts. I can't remember which ones they are. The purple ones.
Are they like bite-sized ones, or are they like?
No, they're regular size Pop-Tarts. I just haven't really eaten anything today, so I just needed something.
Yeah. So, no. I mean, I saw you eating it, but yet I still asked the question.
He's like, he's got food in his mouth. Let's go. No, not really. And I've not had a lot of updates. I have my Hobby Lobby find that I definitely want to make sure we talk about.
Absolutely. Zach and I took a trip to Hobby Lobby. I've never been to one, and we decided to make it a little activity out of it. Yes, the goal was to go in and pick a hobby out that each of us have to try. Trying to make it simple, realistic, something that we'd actually follow someone through with, right? And we have some video clips coming from there, some gems. It was the wonderful Sacagawea dollar book. Sorry, the sticker. It was like I'm so little when I read things. It's like Ron Burgundy. I was like Sagawa dollar.
How do you say it? How do you say it?
Sacagawea? Is that not how you say it?
No, you don't really know how to say that name?
No, I do not.
Okay, so they won't cancel you on the internet. I don't know. I was always told it was Sacagawea, and then like a few years ago, I think people say Sacagawea. Yeah. I don't know.
Is it up for interpretation, or is there an actual correct way? Like even the Kelseys don't pronounce their name the same way as their father.
Miss Kels.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's confusing times. But yeah, so I got the coin
book. Is your house? Sorry, keep going. Yeah, the coin book.
Yeah, so I got the coin book, and it's kind of ironic because I do have some coins that I collected.
Nice.
Don't know where they're at, so I will make it.
Sorry.
It looks like I have to find specific. I have to get the Sacagawea. What is it again?
Sacagawea.
Okay.
We'll have to get somebody on that. No,
this is not us trying to be funny. Legit, do not know how to pronounce it.
I wouldn't like if I knew it was wrong. I wouldn't say it. It was I don't know which one's which. Yeah. That's genuinely what that is. Yeah.
Second, yeah, because when you open the book and you see it spelled out, to me it reinforces Sacagawea. Yeah, maybe not an maybe just actually I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So the goal is to get the specific revert, like the angles, blah blah. All the different types of coins. So I will try that out. Zach, what did we pick up for you?
Well, real quick before we get into my stuff, where are you planning to find these coins? Are you going to do like research into what to look for, that sort of thing?
I may get back to an old faithful that is eBay first. Give that a shot and see where that takes me. I feel like I'm doing that kind of intentionally because I haven't been on there. This is not a joke. Since the early 2000s. before
Yeah.
2005 was the last time I was on eBay. So it'd be cool to see how it's changed. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
so
I
that's
want
going to
to.
be maybe a Google first, but regardless, I'm going to start with the internet first.
Nice. Yeah. I want to stay on track, but I do have a question about the early 2000s eBay because I have a fun
Mm.
one. So we got to come back to that. So, so what was my part? Oh yeah. So I guess my hobby,
Yeah.
right? So,
Hmm.
we actually picked out a Coca-Cola die-cast vending machine and dolly die-cast truck. It's actually going to be really exciting, I think, to put this together. I should have already started
Hmm.
doing it, but I'm a procrastinator. But I'm going to blame it on wanting to hold out for the pod and then having a
Yeah,
little,
that makes sense. Total sense.
yeah,
Yeah. So actually, I had my eyes on a Fast and Furious, ironic, like it's his family model. We saw Zach and I saw, but I felt like Zach saw that specific Coca-Cola one, and I could
I
tell he's
wanted
starting.
it.
You have a collection. Yeah, you have a
I wanted
collection,
it.
right?
Yeah, I got that
Hmm.
Coca-Cola. I
And I
got
feel
some
like
stuff.
why
I got
not
some stuff.
add to it? Yeah, you can grow it in the back of the pod, right? The live background there. I noticed me noticing you eating that time. Oh,
Thank you. Why do I do that?
no, it's all
But
good.
but anyway, so I'm really excited to put that together. I think that it'd be neat to kind of have some video footage of that just as I'm doing it. Maybe you can stop motion kind of thing.
Absolutely.
I miss doing
And
that kind
if
of
you
stuff.
could remember, like time it from start to finish, like how long I've always wondered how long it takes. You know what? I don't want to be pressure on you,
What do you
but I've
mean?
always wondered like how time consuming is a model like that.
Oh, that. Yeah, it'd be neat to find out. And I
Or
might
how long
document
it
it.
takes you because people sit down at different times. Somebody do it leisurely, somebody do it with
Yeah,
purpose. You know.
I would just have a couple minutes a day. But yeah, I'm excited to try it out. That's for sure.
Cool. And you mentioned that you have a trip coming up too, correct?
Yeah, we're going to the Grand Canyon.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've we went to Vegas a couple times. I think that was an option, but never been.
Yeah, that's why we both want to go. It's gonna be a fun time. A family member of hers is like a trip planner. I don't know the actual job title for that, like a trip coordinator, travel coordinator, maybe.
Yeah.
And she got us hooked up with some excursions out there. It's
Oh,
gonna be
like a travel agent. Is that what you're
yeah,
referring to?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, travel agent. And she got us hooked up. We got a nice hotel. We're gonna do some excursions, hikes, that sort of thing. And we had the opportunity to do a tour in a pink Jeep, a self-guided pink Jeep tour. And we almost bought that one, but we didn't, thankfully.
Man, all I can think of is Ken in that song. Whenever you said the pink Jeep,
I've not seen them. I've not seen that movie.
I just
It's
think Barbie is just
yeah,
pink everything. Anyways, yeah,
yeah. That's essentially Margot Robbie somewhere in there. But no, I'm excited. We've not really gone on a trip solo that's not been like with family or something like that in a bit. So it'll be fun.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
it should be nice weather too, right?
I'm hoping. So I guess so. Obviously, we want to talk about the weather now that we are. So yeah, Robinson. Um,
Yeah, you
I
caught me
call.
off guard when you said that. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
wait, Zach.
sorry. So I should explain. Obviously, we're both named Zach. He's my best friend since we were eight, little league legends, and yeah, he goes by he goes like people call him Robinson, and then I was Zach, or people still call him Zach, or I call him Robinson. One of the two. I don't really know, but I
It'll all
call him.
come back.
Yeah, yeah. So when I say Robinson, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was. I just remember, what kind of hobby is this, and then I realized this is the very, as you said earlier when we were talking, it was the very definition of a unique hobby.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not.
So I'm telling you, we met maybe age 7 or 8 um, at church, and ever since I met him, like he was always on their computer at home, checking out the weather forecast and maps and stuff like that. And I'm not talking just going to like AccuWeather, not just going to like or back home like WDBJ7, whatever. Um, he would like check out like I don't know like weather websites, like checking out like formulas and like I don't know how to explain it, but it always fascinated me, and I never understood really, how one gets into that. But dude, there are a lot of folks that do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you do a hobby, but we'll see.
Yeah, one of the biggest questions that I have is like, why not be a meteorologist? Why not make it profession?
Oh, we've talked about that quite a lot, quite a
Yeah.
lot.
I'm sure he has his reasons.
Yeah, he's gypsy soul with a blame. I'm just kidding. The gypsy soul. I'm just messing around. You'll understand a little bit more.
I gotcha.
So what are there any kind of interesting things that you'd like to learn from
Well,
chatting with them?
my big thing is about what inspires people in their hobbies, because that's
Yeah,
for me the real definition. Like I want to know, and we do this kind of every episode, where it started, why it started,
yeah,
how it's going, what do you do to stay inspired.
yeah.
And so for him, my mind immediately went to like, okay, so these, like Twister has to be awesome for you to watch that movie. So
Dude, did you see the new trailer?
no, I didn't know there's a
Yeah, it came out. The trailer came out on the Super Bowl night. It was
okay.
awesome. It's
Yeah.
called Twisters.
Yes, I did. We were actually in the park whenever the Super Bowl was going on.
Oh yeah,
So I
that's
do love those commercials though. So wait, there's a new one. That's good. Yeah, and then
wait,
the day
hold
after
on,
tomorrow.
hold
What's
on.
that?
I'm sorry. We can go back to that. But did you say you weren't watching the Super Bowl?
I was not watching the Super Bowl. I did not have a choice. And honestly, it wasn't fun. We were actually on the Ferris wheel that moves in Disneyland.
Yeah.
If anybody knows what that is, and it is terrifying, by the way. But it was right before overtime. We thought the game was going to end on there while we were in the air. That was kind of cool. But other than that,
Nice.
didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Other than when my daughter got excited that Taylor Swift might be coming to Disneyland the next day, which they did. I don't know if she was there, but I know Patrick Mahomes did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw he was on Pat McAfee today.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, probably drinking a lot of Miller Lights or whatever it is he likes to drink.
Oh man, I'm sure. Yeah, but it's a lot of that, and then also I have questions coming from my like how does it
Oh yeah, sorry.
become difficult to keep up with that page? Because I'm realizing that obviously whether it's this, whether it's my fitness, my personal page, it becomes a lot. So is there how does he make that easy for himself? How does it not become?
I think you're gonna like his answer to like why he doesn't become a meteorologist. But we'll get into that. I think
Cool.
you'll like it. But yeah, all good questions. All good questions. I think mine's just why.
Yeah, I mean, so that's
Like not even like a mean way. Like why weather? It's not his only thing that he does. It's the most unique. One of the most unique hobbies that one of my friends have. So I want to make sure I chat with him.
Yeah, that's great. I'm excited for it. It's again, that's just something that to me, it's getting to the source of that inspiration.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, there's people that take that to the extreme, and there's real storm chasers, So
Yeah.
it's just like on one level. I mean, they're just as enthusiastic about it too, just a little bit more extreme.
Well, there's I don't know if you saw it or not, but there was a video where these guys were chasing a tornado, and the road that they were on, like they tried to like cut off the tornado, but like it changed directions and came straight for them.
Yeah.
And the road they were on, like the power lines got knocked over. So like around them, so they literally got trapped, and the tornado goes right over them. It was the most insane video I've watched. Well, not the most insane, but it was exhilarating. Yeah. I mean, physically,
that's awesome.
They were all
maybe not mentally, but.
So, all right, folks, get ready to welcome our special guest, Zach Robinson of Blue Ridge Weather, to the podcast. Zach's expertise in weather tracking and his success in managing a popular Facebook page that I told him to start are about to take center stage. Stay tuned as we delve into his passion for meteorology and uncover the secrets behind running a thriving online community. And I think he's even toyed with having a calendar made. He's a very good photographer as well. So let's give a warm welcome to Zach. Awesome.
That was a weird clap, but okay, yes. I was like,
all right. I got my Virginia Tech women's basketball shirt on, supporting the ladies. Go Hokies.
All right. Nothing wrong with that, dude. All right. Well, Zach Robinson. This is Cody, my co-host.
Nice to meet
Cody?
you.
Ready to do this? We got some questions for you, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, folks. So obviously we have Zach Robinson here, Blue Ridge Weather. He cannot figure out what hat to wear or what angle to keep his camera at.
Yeah.
But here we are. Welcome, dude. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So before you came on, Cody and I tried to talk about the weather. It lasted for about 13 seconds.
Oh,
So we're not entirely sure about, how it became a hobby. I know that it's been, since I've known you since we were like 8. So
Sure.
Yeah. So I guess I would start where we've kind of made this a point to start it off this way. Do you have a memory of like where it all started or something, like maybe a storm or something where you're like, man, I could look back when I was a kid and be like, that was pretty cool. Then that started the interest. Like, where do you think it started out at?
Yeah, not really a specific memory. There's two sort of things that stand out to me.
Mm-hmm.
One, we used to have dial-up internet, and so you'd have to go to the library to get on the computers. And I can just remember asking my granddad to like take me to the library so I could read the area forecast from the National Weather Service. And I was like 8 years old. And
so you had the interest back when you were 8. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't really know where it started or where it stemmed from. There was a couple storms that just in my memory stick out. That
the Blizzard of '96.
No, I don't remember it. I remember the earliest I remember was '98. We got like 18 inches, and it was a really warm winter. And I remember that, and I just remember playing outside in that.
Wait, they called it a blizzard? I know it's all relative. So the blizzard was 18 inches.
No, that wasn't a blizzard. The 96 was. There's 2 blizzards that have happened in my lifetime, and it was 93 and 96.
So you guys you're in Virginia?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you got hit. So how much did you get in 93? Like a guess?
I don't remember. But they say we got like 3 feet. There's some pictures of snow drifted up to like the roof and stuff. So it was a pretty memorable storm for really everybody in the eastern third of the country. But the '98 storm was the one that really sort of put the wheels in motion for me. And then as I kind of got older, started to understand more. It was just okay. I really understood what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
So it gives you some sort of a joy, right? Like it inspires you.
I guess at this point, it's just kind of what I do. But
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to understand it. It's just kind of like, trust me, there's a lot of interest that Zach and I have that people from the outside are probably like, what in the hell is that? So it's just more of understanding it. Like, is it the storms, I guess? Are they more interesting than just the general understanding of the weather?
Yeah, I really like winter weather more than anything. That's sort of what grinds my gears. I think for me, it's cool because we live in a part of the country where there's a lot of variability. I mean, we're less than 2 hours from Charlotte, and we get 5 to 10 times the amount of snow as they do. Then we got ski resorts a couple hours from us that get 5 to 10 times the amount of snow that we get. And so to me, that was always just really fascinating. You could have changes over such a short distance. I was also really, my undergrad's actually in geography. Started in meteorology, but switched to geography. And I've always really, at the end of the day, liked understanding how place, both from a physical and a cultural side, really can change things. And I think tying that into weather, and particularly winter weather in our region, is kind of what spurred my interest from a young age. Being able to just identify patterns in the way that this sounds like a joke, but if the wind blows the wrong way or the right way, it could have impacts on somebody's life. And just kind of always found that interesting.
Nice.
Are you like the go-to person amongst your family and friends? Like,
I wouldn't say that.
Like you have a vacation coming up. You know what I mean? Or I'm getting at, Zach.
Alaska.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's weird though, because like if we lived in Pennsylvania or like someplace that got more snow, people probably wouldn't care. as much. In the South, snow's a much bigger novelty than anywhere else. So, even though we don't get a ton, we get enough to sort of pique people's interest. But
Well, that makes sense. I never thought of it like that.
Mhm.
So how do you stay updated? Is there like apps or like what's
Yeah,
your
I mean,
go-to?
I more or less taught myself. I was really blessed and lucky, sort of back when I really took this interest on. There was a guy, still really good friends with him. His name's Kevin Myatt. He was the weather editor for the Roanoke Times, and good guy. And he used to have a comment section on his blog, and he ran. This was back in the 2000s, and I was in high school, and just really, he sort of took me under his wing, and like really kind of, I was probably annoying as hell. I mean, just bugging him all the time, but he really taught me a lot, and so that really sort of guided me on how I began to began to shape my the passion and the hobby, and then from there, it just self education. Um, Still talk to him and several others daily, and it just sort of grew into this thing where it's like you learn a little bit by little bit and a little bit, and there's still a lot of stuff I don't know. I don't understand. I'm in a group chat with several meteorologists, and I'm not an official meteorologist, so
So
still.
where did that stop? You mentioned you were a major in meteorology. I thought you mentioned that. So why the switch and why not go into that for a career?
That's a little. I don't know. A lot of people still ask me that.
I thought
At
you'd
the
have an
time, I
answer,
don't really
man.
think I wanted to leave Southwest Virginia, and I didn't really see sort of a route to make that work. But also, the coursework was hard. I'm not great with math, and there's a lot of mathematics in there, and I struggled with that. But from a career trajectory, 10 years ago, it was, sort of, there's kind of three paths, at least the way I understood it. You could go work for the government, you could go work for TV, or you could go work for a private company. And really, most of those are cubicle jobs, except for the TV route. And I didn't really want to go that way.
Yeah.
And I say most of them are TV jobs. There are people out there that, have made it exactly what they want to make it. But that's sort of come with the rise of technology and social media. So.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have it as a hobby, obviously, if it was a career. So there's two ways to look at that, at least.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing then. But of course, now 15 years later, be like, dang, if
I'd be happy. I'd be happy doing it.
figure out a
Zach
way.
mentioned, are you joking when you say that you helped the Robinson come up with a Facebook page?
I did. I was the reason you started the page or the blog.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of one of those things. I probably wouldn't have ever done it.
Why? How'd that? If you can give us a quick rundown, how'd that happen?
I'll let you take the lead on that because I really don't remember, Zach.
I don't really remember how it started. I just remember we were talking in the apartment in Blacksburg, and I was like, "You need to start this." I'm like, "People are going to listen," and it kind of happened.
Well,
That's all.
going back to Kevin, the guy, he had let me guest write a couple of articles for the Roanoke Times on their website, and that sort of gave me a runway start. But now, of course, anybody. I mean, then 10 years ago, however long ago it was, not everybody was doing it, and now it's kind of become diluted because you have anybody can get on a website and read a computer model and think they know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And so now there's a lot more, I guess, clutter and noise. So.
Not fake news.
I wouldn't call it that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. So I guess one question I have, how do you go about like gaining the trust of folks who don't know you, when it comes to weather? Because when I look at those comments, there's so many people who are asking you like, is it going to snow at my house?
Truthfully, I don't really know either. It just kind of sort of took on a thing, and and I think there's like 11,000 people on there right now.
It's a lot.
Really not a lot in terms of like the social media space, but
I think it's. I mean, that's a decent following, at least.
Yeah.
Because Zach and I are in the beginning of that, and obviously we're going to grow it, but that's how it starts. You've got to get there, and that's a thousands is pretty big.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people doing it now, like I said, and so it's. I would say that the trust that I have is sort of very hyper localized.
Yeah.
Probably specifically to the Twin Counties and maybe the New River Valley a little bit.
How often? I didn't get. This is something I should have noticed, but how often would you say you post?
I try to in the winter months. I try to post every day. It's not every day, but it's probably every 2 or 3 days.
When there's a snowstorm, Robinson is like a robot. He's
I
like
turn into yeah.
snowstorm.
But I've been blessed. I mean, there's another fellow that helps me. His name is Matt Byers, and we started getting a lot of like requests for the kind of the central part of the state, central Blue Ridge, kind of east of Roanoke, and I don't really focus on that area, and I knew Matt through sort of just the general community, and so he's really helped me up there, and that's helped gain trust, I think, because when you can reach a broader audience and he knows what he's doing, especially up there, it sort of solidifies. Again, going back to Kevin, putting the trust in me to be able to write an article for the New York Times. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's no small publication, Cody. For those that are from Virginia, that's like the Southwest of Virginia, like biggest regional newspaper. I would say.
And he's no longer there. He's moved on, but at the time it was a really good thing.
Yeah,
and commenting back in the I guess the forums or whatnot that they had on their website, a lot of those people were also on Facebook, and so you plug I'm sure I plugged the blog a couple times.
Yeah.
Then and kind of went with it, but I've thought about giving it up a couple times, but it's something I do at this point. It's just kind of like whatever.
Do you still get some reward from it? And if so, what would you say the most rewarding part of that is?
I wouldn't say like extrinsically. I mean, it is nice when a forecast verifies, just because I enjoy it. Make you want to get it right. But I mean, I certainly still enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I probably wouldn't do it.
Nice.
I've kind of a little bit grown to, and I don't do it as much as I should, but I kind of like to antagonize people a little bit more than maybe I used to.
Yeah.
It can be kind of fun. So
yeah. Trolling folks. What is one of the more I can't even speak. What is one of the more annoying things that comes with that big of a following? Because I know some folks, I mentioned it earlier, will ask like, do you know what's going to happen in front of my house or something like that? I mean, you get a lot of those types of questions.
Yeah, I think it's I would say specifically two things. It's one, it's the oh well, the weatherman's always wrong comment, and that's or you can be wrong 50% of the time, and like don't ever take it personally, but it is kind of frustrating, because you spend hours and hours and hours and hours and years and years and years of your life studying this stuff, and try to really message in a way that's accurate.
Yeah.
And then also too, just the in my backyard questions. If you can't read a map, don't try to follow the weather. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I got you.
I have a question that I thought of right before this podcast where we recorded this, and that is, do you have a favorite weather-related movie?
Oh yeah.
Everybody says Twister. I'd probably say the day after
tomorrow. Yes,
yeah, that's a good
Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm a fan of that one just because of how some of the shots. When the helicopter gets, I mean, it's crazy to think of like if it can get that cold. Is that what would happen? Since you're an expert, I'm not an expert, but to you,
that's probably not. I don't. It's way above my pay grade.
I would love to know.
Qualified to give an opinion on that.
Legitimately, when I saw that, I was like, "Is that possible?" Like, even me, who has no interest in weather, was like, "Is that what would happen?"
I mean,
I wouldn't think so.
I don't think that. I mean, if enough of the glaciers fall off, maybe. But this is definitely we should.
But yeah, that kind of should tie. It's a kind of good segue. I'm in no way a professional or have any claim to really know what I'm talking about. I'm just good at recognizing regional patterns in our region, and So like more advanced. I mean, there's guys in my group chat. We were having an argument a couple days ago about a certain type of pattern that occurs in the winter and the mechanisms behind that. And these guys are more educated than me and taught me something. So,
do you they're like get-togethers, like conferences or local things going on with that?
sorry, I gotta let my dog out. He's not
Okay.
No, I mean we might get lunch here and there. We haven't got lunch in over a year, so it's been a while. But yeah, I mean we all stay in pretty good amount. I went to school with one of the guys, and then a couple of them. Gosh, it's been over a year. So
Nice.
And we're spread out. I mean, one's we got they're not all in. It's kind of like a some sort of a regional thing. Like one of them's in Raleigh, the other's up in the Shenandoah Valley.
Yeah.
So one's in Lynchburg. So
That's nice. That's nice. Now,
yeah.
So what is with like creating a forecast? Like how much goes into guessing, or I guess guesstimating snow accumulation?
That's
Is it more?
I think for me anyways, I've sort of used to be more aggressive, I think, than I wish I would have been. But here, I've sort of changed my strategy and really tried to learn about, conveying the weather is more about communicating effectively and managing expectations than anything else. So that's kind of always my starting point. It's like, okay, how can we effectively communicate what we think is going to happen in a way that doesn't get people too high or too low, and sort of go from there. So that's a long way of saying we tend to start pretty low in our forecasts, and unless we're just ultra confident. But the mechanisms we use to really forecast, we analyze the computer model data, which is that's what everybody's doing now, and anybody can get on the internet and really look and see. But it really is deeper than that. It really is more than that. It's understanding broader global patterns and broader atmospheric patterns, and recognizing setups from a long lead time, a long distance, to be able to say, hey, you know what? Even though it's showing this, eventually by the time it gets here, it's probably not going to be this result, or vice versa, and just effectively communicating that. I think the biggest challenge right now is there's too much data. I mean, I can remember, and it was like 5 days was like an eternity.
Yeah.
And so like if you had a storm showing in the 5-day window, not everybody and their brother knew about it.
Yeah.
And now you have these computer models that go out to 15 days, and that's just the butterfly effect on that is just out of this world. Like, what are the odds of it's an impossible thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, people run with it on social media, and then before you know it, it's hey, it's going to snow in 2 weeks, and it's like you have no idea if it's going to be 70 degrees or 20 degrees in 2 weeks.
That's Pittsburgh.
Buy all the bread. Yes.
Yeah.
What is the most important grocery item to buy before a snowstorm?
A Busch Light.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, because I would love to know. We both, you guys experienced it differently than I did, but we had a blizzard of '93 as well.
Yeah.
And I would love to know the amount of time that we were unable to go to a store, because I find it it's not going to be as long as you would need any of those things.
No, I think that kind of plays into it. Like, it's so nostalgic when it does snow. I think people just go just for the fun of it. I mean,
going to buy all the bread.
like, yeah, I mean, there's been, I can think of maybe like one, maybe two storms that were like truthfully impactful. We actually had one in 2000, I think it was 21 here, and it wasn't a bad storm, but we got like 8 inches, but it sleeted like an inch on top.
Oh, yeah.
And in terms of just travel, it was tough for a couple of days. It was just because of the way that the ice compacted the snow down, and it was really cold after. But more than a day or two, and that's rare. I mean, that's one of the only examples I can think of where I was like, dang, I legitimately can't drive anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's, but it's different in Carolina. And you get out of the mountains where they don't have the equipment, it really can, really can make a difference because, I think I
Yeah.
saw some stat like the city of Raleigh might have had like 13 snowplows or something, like not a big amount.
Really?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like, didn't Atlanta get some snow that some years
Nashville
ago?
had like 2 weeks ago or like a month
Nashville,
ago.
Nashville
Nashville had
got
snow.
snow
Well, I
last.
think Atlanta like had, up here we're kind of, you're joking about it, but if they're not prepared or used to driving in it, I don't know what it was not much snow.
Yeah.
It was
It
like
was like everything was shut
Chipper
down.
Jones was rescuing people on the interstate.
Freddie Freeman
Yeah,
and Chipper
it's
Jones.
Best
Yeah.
brave of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that's kind of it. And but I try to stay engaged beyond the winter.
yeah.
Especially if we get like a rain event or a tropical event. Severe storms are not really my thing. I'm not by any means very well educated in that realm. But I do know enough to be able to speak to them, and it's kind of one of those things that I think gets overhyped here a lot. So that's kind of a lot of our warm season stuff is these Armageddon coming, and then it's not really going to be that. But
A derecho.
It's like you said about it's almost like they go to the store to get the bread, to get the milk, and then there's conversation at the gas station. There's excitement. It
I
happens
heard we're getting
every
7
time.
inches.
Yeah.
But it's I've thought for a long time. I mean, how would you monetize? Because I don't have any desire to be on TV media, and I wouldn't even know where to begin if I had that. There's so many more people out there, that are incredibly more qualified than me. So that's not really an option. But I've thought, hey, it would be pretty cool to figure out a way to.
Why not deliver them like in short clips, like you're
There's
doing
people
now?
that do that. I've thought about maybe the TikTok route, but
It wouldn't take much. You could cut it up, and because you got, I don't know, Zach, you know what I'm talking about, and you do it, and like an occasion, it's just like in and out. I mean, that stuff. If you have a personality, which you do, and people kind of want to hear somebody. At least I don't want to hear or see somebody up on a news. It seems so fake. No offense to anybody that made that profession, but
Yeah.
it's kind of nice that you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? But you kind of know what you're doing, right? Because
Yeah.
they're not much different.
It's
And I think it's hilarious.
I think the challenge that I'd have is if I ever tried to move off Facebook. That's where 90% of my audience is.
Yeah, no, you're
Like,
right.
how do you move your audience from one platform to the other, and without just
I would do reels is what I would do for Facebook, but then you won't have to leave the system, and then you could just do it that way. Yeah. I have a fitness thing that I do on the side for fun, which can be monetized, right? But I don't want to do it for money.
Yeah.
That was a terrible. Don't cut that, Zach.
I'm writing out
But
a
anyways,
question
but
so I don't forget it.
I noticed that a lot of people, a lot of the fan base is Facebook, and then you have to do reels. It's like you kind of have to make it a little bit more for what your audience is, and it's weird. I mean, I understand it because I go on Facebook more to connect with people that I know, but I do look at news on there.
Right.
I would rather get it from a local page. So I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have an important question.
Sure.
Is your favorite thing about like predicting snow accumulations is the fact that every post can be followed up by a your mom joke?
Okay, that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and literally a few times when you talk about the 7 inches, the 8 inches.
Yeah, that's why I had to write it down. So
No,
hard hitting questions.
Yeah, the best part is when you can get a couple people riled up and just sort of play with them a little bit. That can be fun. But
And I know at the end of the day, it's about weather, which is one of the most unpredictable things,
yeah, I've tried here in the past year really to sort of be more lighthearted with it because people get so worked up. But it's part of the messaging behind it too. Kevin, the guy that I referenced earlier, his greatest skill is he's a world class wordsmith, and that's how he gained so much, trust. To circle back to your questions, he just has a very, very, very good way of messaging and managing expectations. And so I've sort of found that if you sort of take a lighthearted approach, it can still be somewhat accurate, people tend to trust you a little bit more.
Nice.
But yeah.
Now, outside of predicting weather, this is more so for Cody. But what other kind of hobbies do you have?
Well, I like baseball. I coach high school baseball. I've been doing that for feels like a long time. I don't know how many years now. I like to hike. I really love I sort of referenced it earlier. Geography is kind of one of my passions, and it's like how are you passionate about geography? Like a lot of people sort of ask me that, and I just really like understanding how place affects people's life physically and culturally too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've had a couple of other projects that I've sort of shelved or tabled for now that maybe one day will present the opportunity to sort of
Well,
more.
do you have a place that you would like to? I'm sorry to interject here. Just thought of this, but where you would like to visit that you can kind of satisfy that geography, and then maybe it's
Yeah, everywhere.
Colorado. There's like skiing. Do you know what I mean? Where you can kind of get.
This is where I
to-
said earlier he's a gypsy soul. I mean, he is always on the run. He can't sit still. He likes traveling.
Yeah, no, I love. I think it would be the coolest thing to just throw a dart at a map and
Yeah, man.
wherever it lands, just go visit that place and tell the story of that place.
I'm 100%. When I saw Yes Man,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey did it on that movie. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm so in for that. They ended up in like Iowa or something,
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, it'd be a cool.
Bourdain is a big. He's a big fan of Bourdain. Or
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
I've been watching this new show called it's kind of segueing off that, but it's called Trafficked. It's on Nat Geo.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
And she goes to a lot of really cool places to tell a lot of really cool stories.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, that's cool. But those things also take money.
Yeah.
Other pressing issues.
Have you ever thought about combining, your, I guess, desire to travel and the weather, like maybe
Storm Case?
Yeah, I mean, there are
chasing.
some people that are starting to do that, specifically with with storm chasing and
Do people
and,
blizzard chase?
yeah, it's actually kind of a thing. Storm chasing used to just be tornadoes, but now people are doing lake effect snow, floods. I mean, literally anything.
Wow.
Heat waves. I mean,
It's
like, oh, it's
100 degrees. Let's get out there. 120.
But with the rise of social media, you can really sort of do anything you want. I haven't really thought too much about it. I mean, from a career perspective, it's kind of hard to fit into your schedule to kind of make some of those things happen. But it's certainly not impossible.
No.
So do you find it hard to balance like the baseball coaching, your day job, the weather page?
No.
And then,
He's got his own schedule.
No, man. I mean, if it's, I might spend an hour on it a day, if that. Now, if it's snowing or something, it's a little bit different. But it's more of a nighttime thing because the way it works is, well, the National Weather Service, they update their area forecast discussions at 2 or 3 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and then you have your computer model guidance that just by a general rule of thumb comes out at noon and midnight. And so you sort of have your morning, I guess if we're in like a storm, if there's like a storm coming, it would be like, okay, I wake up when I get to the office, I'd probably take 20, 30 minutes to review everything.
Yeah.
And then before I left for the day, I'd probably review everything again. And then really, if we're like in a pattern where, hey, we think it's going to snow, then really it's my evenings where it sort of takes precedence. And that can be, that can be sort of taxing because it's just, and not taxing in the sense of just physically. It's just like you're looking at a computer for 5-6 hours straight for 5-6 days straight trying to analyze, and it sort of goes back to the thing. There's so much data that you can take in now, and it's almost like sometimes I ask myself, do we have too much? I mean, because at some point it becomes you got to go with what instead of trying to let a computer tell you what to forecast, and that's really I think what makes somebody really, really good at it, is being able to recognize local patterns and whatnot. So,
I have another important question.
okay.
Do you put, like, when you're going to placing, allegedly placing a sports bet, do you ever look at the weather patterns beforehand?
I don't bet on sports anymore. I quit.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. I allegedly quit after the Super Bowl.
Would you look at the forecast?
Yeah, no, I've never done that. Weather's not
I've
real
done
when it comes to sporting events.
Of course, a Virginia Tech fan would say that to the North Carolina fan.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started. Oh, about
The hurricane, man.
about the hurricane. I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun to drive through. But,
Yeah. So does like an intense storm make a sporting event more fun?
well, in 2007, we watched Boston College rip our hearts out in a driving rainstorm. So
You didn't watch. You left the stadium.
No, Matt Ryan's dad was sitting right behind me.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Matt Ryan. So,
Yeah.
Cody, if you don't remember this, Virginia Tech, you tell, like, how bad was this?
We were up the whole game, like 10-0, and I think Matt Ryan drove down the field twice with under like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter in a driving rainstorm, and we probably would have been in a national title that year. We finished third in the BCS rankings after all of this, so you got to think if we don't lose, then we have a chance. But you never know how that plays out. So,
No.
So wait, Matt Ryan, do you like the
Yep.
reverse 27-3? He used
Yep.
up all his luck.
Matt Ryan,
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
He peaked
He
at Boston College.
peaked in college. No,
Yeah. But that was a fun game. But no, it's a lot of fun. The craziest thing I think I've ever seen was this year at the Tech Purdue game this year.
Virginia Tech for our listeners.
It rained like 4.5 inches in like 2 hours.
Really?
I think it was a record or close to a record. I can't remember.
I just remembered a weather-related experience. Zach, don't let me forget this just the other day. Sorry.
Yeah, but like lightning struck the scoreboard, and they evacuated the stadium, but then lightning struck the parking lot, and so they kept everybody in the stadium. And so the concourse of Lane Stadium was it was definitely a safety hazard. You should probably edit this out because I don't want to get
socially distancing.
Virginia Tech.
That's all good.
So, Cody, you can go ahead and ask your question. My question's about.
Well, it wasn't really a question. I was just going to say, fun little fact. When we were at Disneyland, they had to shut down all the rides started shutting down out of nowhere. It was an earthquake.
Oh, dude,
cool. Yeah, but it was just cool. Yeah, but it was just like, oh, that's cool. But it's just something that we don't experience here, I guess. But we did within the last 15 years. But anyways, sorry.
So, Zach, this is not really weather related, but I know that this is a passion for you. College football, the video game.
Oh, yeah.
So the rumor, we talked about this, I think episode 1, 2, or 3, I don't know. Rumor is we're getting NCAA 24 this year.
Is it 24?
25?
We're going to have it?
Well, they're saying it. There are rumors it's coming this summer. If it does, is that something you're planning on getting a system? Because I don't think.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't play video games, but I play the college football video game.
Yeah,
and if I get that, I'll definitely get this show too because I do like playing that too.
Yeah,
that's all I play. That's it. Those 2 games.
Do you?
Yeah. Or I ended up getting mad because they had a college playoff thing that got me like my fix in.
Yeah.
I would love to see a snowstorm in Blacksburg during a football game. That would be cool. It's happened at App State several times.
Vic on NCAA though.
Yeah.
He was ridiculous.
Vic on Madden.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was a great year. 2004.
Yeah, 04. Yeah.
How much is that thing worth now?
Oh, dude, I bought that. I bought it. I don't know.
You better never sell that.
Oh, no, it ain't going nowhere, man. But
what's the last year of? We were getting somewhere that. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, no. So I want to do an online dynasty with a few folks. Do it on Twitch. We don't have to put our faces if you don't, that sort of thing. But I've thought about. I think I mentioned it. The first episode or so. Yeah, I'm with you, Cody. A long day.
Sorry.
I would absolutely love to, have an online dynasty, advance once or twice throughout the week. And we stream everything. We put it through our YouTube, or even if we get a Twitch account. I think that would be, if we can be one of the first people who get that set up, that would be awesome. I mean, just playing that game for fun. I don't know. I'm excited.
I'm pumped for that game more than anything.
I hope it comes out.
I'm nervous though that they're going to have the Madden gameplay.
I heard that the new Madden sucks.
Every Madden
it got better this year. I have it, but it's not. I mean, I like I said, I'm going to stop buying it because I end up not playing it. So just because I'm looking for that college football. It's just, what is it? 2014 was last year, right?
Mm-hmm. I have it for my 360 somewhere.
Yeah. That 2014 gameplay was so smooth.
Yeah, it was the best. Still, a buddy of mine has like an arcade down the street. He has it like one of those arcade. It looks like an arcade machine, but it has all the games loaded on it, and he has it on there. And it is just.
Where is this at? Is this in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, but it's a buddy of mine. He bought it online on eBay or something, and it was like he got it for steal. So it's like a mod system.
Oh, he got
every video game ever.
That's nice.
Yeah, and he got it like for $500, $600 the whole unit. It's kind of crazy.
Next time I come up, we're going there.
Yeah, we should do a live. No, this is what we should do next time. When you come up, we should have an NCAA 14 tournament.
Yeah, that dude will let me go over there for sure. By the way. Oh, if it'll be out, right?
No, I have NCAA 14.
You do?
House. Yeah, and my
still work.
Yeah, it's awesome. We just might need better controllers.
Yeah,
that's always the controllers
or the TV. So I would love to do that. College football, that kind of just took all my attention, and I don't really have anything else there. Zach, I do appreciate you coming on, dude.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
You're the first person who's going to get this reference, but we're gonna have to send you a shirt because now you're a recurring guest. And I'm gonna
make sure that's not trademarked.
I'm not gonna call you an award-winning whistle.
You're gonna get a cease and desist letter.
Yeah, Mr. Portnoy can shove it. All right, dude. Well, I do appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. Yeah, man, have a good one.
Boys. See ya.
Awesome.
Good, man. That was awesome.
God, he's so chaotic.
I could talk to him for a while at the end. All right, I gotta bounce out of here.
Yeah, it was fun. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night, and like and subscribe.
Awesome. See ya.